Welcome to History in a Hurry. I'm Professor Malcolm Mazer, and in this episode we will cover the Battle of Okinawa during World War II. The Battle of Okinawa, fought between April 1st and June 22nd, 1945, was the last and bloodiest major battle of World War II. It was a critical conflict in the Pacific Theater, pitting the United States and Allied forces against the Imperial Japanese Army. The battle took place on Okinawa, the largest of the Ryukyu Islands, and was a key step in the Allied strategy to invade Japan. With its airfields and proximity to the Japanese mainland, Okinawa was seen as a crucial staging ground for a planned invasion of Japan, making it a fiercely contested battleground. The battle began on April 1st, 1945, with Operation Iceberg, the largest amphibious assault in the Pacific War. More than 180,000 U.S. troops, primarily from the U.S. Army's 10th Army and the U.S. Marine Corps, landed on Okinawa's beaches, expecting stiff resistance. Surprisingly, the initial landings were almost unopposed. Japanese forces under the command of Lieutenant General Mitsuru Ushijima had adopted a defensive strategy, retreating to fortified positions in the southern part of the island instead of confronting the Americans on the beaches. The Japanese strategy aimed to inflict maximum casualties through attrition warfare, making every inch of territory costly for the invaders. As the U.S. forces advanced, they encountered fierce resistance from the well-entrenched Japanese defenders. The terrain of Okinawa, with its caves, hills, and dense vegetation, provided natural defensive positions that the Japanese exploited to great effect. The battle turned into a brutal war of attrition, with U.S. troops facing continuous attacks from hidden machine gun nests, underground tunnels, and artillery barrages. The infamous Shuri Line, a heavily fortified Japanese defensive position, became the focal point of some of the most intense fighting. The U.S. forces used artillery, flamethrowers, and explosives to clear out Japanese bunkers, but progress was slow and costly. One of the most devastating aspects of the battle was the massive kamikaze attacks launched by the Japanese. Thousands of Japanese pilots flew suicide missions against the U.S. naval fleet, causing severe damage to American ships. Over 350 kamikaze aircraft struck U.S. ships, sinking dozens and killing thousands of American sailors. The relentless kamikaze attacks highlighted Japan's desperation and determination to fight to the last man. The battle also had a tragic impact on Okinawa's civilian population. Caught in the crossfire, tens of thousands of Okinawans were killed, many forced into mass suicides by the Japanese military, who spread propaganda warning that the Americans would commit atrocities. Families leaped from cliffs, and others were given grenades to kill themselves rather than surrender. The suffering of civilians during the battle remains a painful memory in Okinawa's history. By late May, U.S. forces had breached the Shuri Line, forcing the Japanese to retreat further south. General Ushijima and his staff, realizing that defeat was inevitable, chose to commit ritual suicide rather than surrender. On June 22, 1945, the battle was officially declared over, though pockets of Japanese resistance continued fighting for days. The Battle of Okinawa was one of the bloodiest engagements of World War II. Over 12,000 American soldiers and Marines were killed, and more than 50,000 were wounded. Japanese casualties were even more staggering, with over 100,000 soldiers killed and another 7,000 captured. The civilian toll was catastrophic, with estimates ranging from 100,000 to 150,000 Okinawans dead. The significance of the Battle of Okinawa went beyond its immediate military consequences. The immense loss of life and the ferocity of Japanese resistance influenced the United States' decision to use atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. U.S. leaders, witnessing the horrors of Okinawa, feared that a full-scale invasion of Japan would result in even greater casualties, leading to the controversial but decisive use of nuclear weapons. Today, Okinawa remains a reminder of the brutality of war. The battle's impact is still felt, with war memorials and museums commemorating the sacrifices of soldiers and civilians alike. The battle also shaped post-war U.S.-Japan relations, as Okinawa remained under U.S. control until 1972 and still hosts American military bases today. The Battle of Okinawa was not just a military engagement. It was a tragic and defining moment in the history of World War II. It demonstrated the extremes of human endurance and sacrifice, shaped the final days of the war, and left a lasting legacy that continues to be remembered by historians and the people of Okinawa. Thanks for racing through history with us on History in a Hurry. If you enjoyed today's quick dive into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a fast-paced trip through time. Please reply in the comments with ideas for our next history lesson. See you in the next one.